All right, I'm gonna give it to you like this. The way that Top Rank promote their fighters is different from the way PBC promote their fighters. Of course, every business have different philosophies, right? Core values, business models, right? So it's no different PBC and Top Rank. Now, when Top Rank promote their fighters, they promote their fighters to protect their fighters. When PBC promote their fighters, they promote their fighters to prepare their fighters. You see the difference? So Top Rank protects their fighters, and PBC prepares their fighters. And the reason why I'm saying that is because some people might say to themselves, how did Jamal or even Jamel, for that matter, get an opportunity to fight Canelo Alvarez coming back over to PBC? How? Well, that's because Jamel Charlo is prepared for fights like this. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you some differences. Okay? Let's take Terrence Crawford. Let's use Terrence Crawford for an example. Okay? Terrence Crawford was with Top Rank. We don't have to go back and forth about this. We already know this to be true. This is not an opinion. The level of opposition that Terrence Crawford has faced since he's been with Top Rank have not been stellar. Okay? This is not a knock on the opposition. I am in no way trying to offend the opposing boxers that Crawford fought. I'm just using this as a reference to illustrate my point of how Charlo can even get a big payday and an opportunity to fight somebody like a Canelo Alvarez. Now, let's look at Crawford's career. So, Crawford coming up in the ranks, right? We already know who the matchmaker is. I told y'all who the matchmaker was. Hall of Famer Brad Goodman. Remember, y'all ain't never hear his name nowhere else probably, but you heard it here months and months ago. Brad Goodman, Hall of Fame matchmaker, has done a tremendous job with Terrence Bud Crawford's career along with Top Rank. No question about it. And I'll debate anybody who disagrees. And now, let me not say anybody. Let me not say that because what's going to happen is when we come back on here, people are going to jump on this panel that don't know what they're talking about and say, you said you was going to debate. No, I don't mean that literally. Okay, it's just a figure of speech. Some of these people on here don't want no work with me when it comes to boxing debate. So let's just keep it. Let's just keep it as yeah. I like to do that too. Yeah. I like to yeah. Sometimes when they do it to me, right? It's all entertainment. But look, right? So Top Rank, they protect their fighters. There's nothing wrong with it because it's all about maximizing the earning potential of the promoter and the boxer. Okay? All right? All right. So look at the level of opposition that he's faced with Top Rank. They're protecting the guy. Okay? They're protecting him until he reach a certain plateau. They're doing the same thing with Shakur Stevenson. This is not a coincidence. This is just their business model, and it's not something that's open to be criticized. I'm just using it as an example. Salute to everybody acknowledging me in the chat. I see you. Now, all the opposition that Crawford has faced has put him into a level. I know. Thank y'all for that. I appreciate y'all retracting that message. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't want to. I don't ever want to hear a man say he want me. I heard somebody say I want Marty. That was a joke, but I did see that. But back to my point, Terrence Crawford was promoted in such a way where he's reached his ceiling with Top Rank. I mean, let's keep it 100. At the time that Terrence Crawford was on his last fight with Top Rank, they ran out of opponents for him because they reached their ceiling with him based on their business model of protecting their fighters. Okay? That's a fact. In other words, there's nobody else for him to fight at that time but Spence. He was backed in a corner. He was on a dead end street. And that's how they promote at Top Rank. There's nothing wrong with that business model. It works. But at the same time, based on that same business model, we hear Bob Arum say he lost so much money on promoting Terrence Crawford that he could have, did he say, built a mansion in Beverly Hills or something like that? So that's what I'm saying, right? So let's, in comparison, by contrast, look at how PBC promote their fighters. They promote their fighters by preparing their fighters so that what? They can be in position like Jermell Charlo is in right now to get the biggest bag of his life. Not just one time, they do it over and over and over again. Once the fighter that they promote gets to that level, now that fighter can make big money after big money after big money after big money. Okay, now let's look at Danny Garcia compared to Crawford. Let's look at how Danny Garcia was brought up. Danny Garcia was brought up in such a way that he didn't get any of the protections like a Terrence Crawford. You see, y'all see what I'm saying? Remember, he fought Amir Khan, right? He was the underdog in that fight. When Danny Garcia fought Khan, he was the underdog. Yeah, he was. Y'all know that. Some people was betting against Danny Garcia. They said, "Oh man, we know Khan going outbox him. He got too much foot speed, hand speed, experience, skills. Oh man." And y'all seen what Swift did to him, right? Now, I'm just pulling up his box rec, Danny Garcia's real quick. I want to make sure my timeline is correct when I prove this point. So he fought Amir Khan, right? Danny Garcia did. Then he fights Morales, which was cool. So he fights Khan, he fights Zab Judah, and then he fights Lucas Matisse. You all know he was underdog in that Matisse fight. Then he fights Herrera in Puerto Rico. Then he fights Lamont Peterson. So you see what's going on? They're building Garcia up in such a way where it's going to prepare him for those huge moments, for those big paydays. Nothing comes easy. And you don't have to take my word for it. Let's hear the words. Let's hear it of Adrian Broner. He gave up the business model. This is what he said, and I'm quoting him. He said, "You're going to earn a lot of money. You're going to make a lot of money when you fight over at PBC." But what else did he say, y'all? Let's see if the chat's paying attention to this. I'm trying to educate you on something now. But what's going to happen? Let's see if anybody remembers Danny Garcia's word. Adrian Broner. I'm messing up my names today. Adrian Broner said, "You are going to make a lot of money when you fight over at PBC. But you're going to have to fight who?" Let's see somebody in the chat that know they're boxing. We keep having boxing fans come on a panel. We have boxing fans that be in the chat. So people, a lot of people should know the answer to this. I see you, Richard Paris. You're absolutely correct. Anybody else? You're going to make a lot of money. You're going to get paid when you fight over at PBC. But you're going to have to fight Godzilla. Why? Because the business model is so much so that when you fighting over at PBC, they're preparing you They preparing you to get those big paydays. That's facts. Danny Garcia was prepared to fight Sean Porter. Look at the resume of fighters that he fought before he fought Sean Porter. Look at the resume of fighters he fought before he fought Keith Thurman. You see my point? Look at his resume compared to a Terrence Crawford resume. I'm not putting no fighter down. I'm just using this as an example of how Jermell Charlo can even get this opportunity over here at PBC to fight Canelo Alvarez. That's the point that I'm trying to make right now. Salute Aaron H. Muhammad. I see you. Kamal, I see you in the chat. I see you. PBC always gonna give Canelo opportunity. They've been building Canelo up since he's been with De La Hoya. They put him on all the Mayweather undercards. Even when he fought Sugar Shane Mosley, he was on the undercard. This is the business of boxing and how it works. Look at Tank Davis. Tank Davis was fighting on a couple of Adrian Broner's undercards. Some of y'all might not even remember that. Don't forget, Tank Davis fought on the undercard of Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. It's all about how you build these fighters up in preparation. And PBC has done that. Build the fighter up to prepare the fighter to secure big paydays from now on when they reach that top level. Look at Tank Davis. You can stick Tank Davis into any venue around this country. He gonna sell it. All right, go put him in Atlanta, Georgia. He gonna sell it. Take Tank Davis over to LA. He gonna sell it. Tank Davis over in Vegas. He gonna sell it. That's all on the West Coast. Now we done took him down south. We done took him over the West. Let's bring him back home on the East Coast. Tank Davis, put him over in DC. He gonna sell it. Go take him to Brooklyn, New York at the Barclays Center. He gonna sell it. And you know he gonna sell in Maryland at home. You know he gonna sell big at home. He gonna sell it. East Coast, West Coast, down south, Tank Davis gonna sell it. But a lot of people forget he was prepared for these big moments today that he's getting. Why? Because he was built up in a certain way. That's called good business. I'm not knocking the other promotion companies. I'm just saying that's how you do it. Good business. So Jermell Charlo earned the right to fight Canelo Alvarez. I just want to make sure we clear on this because the business model at PBC is designed to put their fighters in position to get big paydays. Why? Because they prepare their fighters.